Korriban Wastes. Hardly my idea of paradise. Verbal, what are the results of your scan? Is there anything that should warrant our interest in the Korriban Wastes?
If I may, Jedi Human, I'd rather allow my own photoreceptors to assess the condition and not depend on your inferior organic ones for an evaluation.
Your enthusiasm is inspiring, but I'm sure there will be plenty of things that can kill you if you let them. Someone's definitely passed through here. Sarah. Wait just a minute, Jedi. First, I want some answers.
Kakin cha na kwat na pon kon wana kumbes.
You say there's some kind of ancient Sith cult? Verbal, are we close?
The precise location of this entity lies 8.05 kilometers to the west of our present location.
Where do we go from here? I don't want to sound negative, but don't underestimate the wastes. It'd be a big mistake.
Watimi alabola.
Though I guess when you're a Jedi, the impossible becomes routine. Wait, plenty of Tukata. Corpses on my way here.
Minamambaton mule ra. Hakugri katkota parabola.
The KOTOR reserves are all gone. That means the casualties in this war are going to become horrifying.
I was expecting something more, but...
I heard someone attacked and killed a lot of the Sith leadership.
You can't do this on your own. That's where I think you're wrong.
You reminded me of my instructor in the Mandalorian Wars.
Me? Well, I've been a star pilot for the Republic for years. Seen more than my share of wars. I fought in the Mandalorian Wars before all this started.
It isn't gonna be easy. I suspect we're gonna have to fight on the inside. I'm gonna go with what you think.
You think they're gonna follow a Sith Lord?
Fine by me. The last question is, where do you want to go? Either the front or the back. I'll take whichever one you don't. That way both sides have leadership.
I'm just trying to figure it out. I saw enough men lose their lives needlessly during the Mandalorian Wars. It's difficult to see that happen all over again.
They've got 3 entrances they're gonna try and break in. Here's the front door, the security door on the side, and the garage door in back. We got 3 squads of militia. We can assign people to the front, back, or inside. Backside has to guard 2 entrances. The front will have to fight more people, and the inside will have to deal with any that break through.
There's no escaping it, I guess. So be it.
Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job.
You can work with us. For the Republic.
That's what I was thinking, too.
I don't know. I'm not the best of men, or I'm not the strongest fighter there is, but I'll find a way.
The main group of mercenaries will probably be good. That's about it. Now, we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come.
As for what comes afterward, well, let's wait until I know that I'm around to see it.
That was the right thing to do. Turn him away from the Sith.
This seems like the kind of thing that could get a person into a lot of trouble.
Protocol. If you truly want this sadly peaceful arrangement to continue, be careful of what you ask.
Saving the galaxy is what's important now. My son, I can mourn my son later when we're done. But with all that, I've never experienced anything like the slaughter these Sith animals can unleash. Not even the Mandalorians were that senseless.
I'm glad somebody finally said what we've all been thinking.
This should be fun. Commentary. I like the sound of this. Warming up blasters, charging weapons just in case.
That's what I would do. Of course that's what you would do.
Observation. Your ruthlessness and cruelty are quite refreshing in an organic meatbag.
It's not just you. It's Bastila as well. She's so intense. And I don't pretend to know much about the Force, but I know evil. Do you have any idea what the Sith do to prisoners of war?
Evisceration works well. Electrocution and blunt trauma also work well. I understand.
Not all of us have the luxury of a choice. I'm conditioned this way. Sorry.
It was the decision of Republic authorities.
I am not trying to provoke you or to imply that you're somehow responsible for the Jedi Council, but give me a hand here. There has to be a reason.
Look, can't we leave the past behind us? We need to deal with the situation we have now, and whatever I might think about you, I'm going to set that aside. But now, we have a different problem.
I've never abandoned anyone on a mission, and I'm not about to start now. We have to try and find...
A Jedi, eh?
Look, all I mean is that if you're smart, you won't trust anyone. Not me, not Bastila, and especially not the
Why
Republic.
does the Republic do anything? The head doesn't know what the feet are doing. The hands don't even know they've got fingers, let alone where they are.
Some things just don't add up for me. Maybe you could tell me what happened, from your perspective.
My opinion, they probably performed their independent investigation and figured it wasn't your fault. Anyways, you should just be glad.
I want to go, it's just... Damn it!
Interesting. This is no ordinary holdout. These aren't your run-of-the-mill thugs. They're trained deadly killers. These black market editions should not be available on the station. I can't imagine anyone would want the help of killers like them. Perhaps the exchange, but they've never openly crossed us before.
I know that. I'm not angry at you. Don't think that. Look, it has nothing to do with you personally. I don't trust anyone, and I have my reasons. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone to help us. They've declared martial law, and they've imposed a planet-wide quarantine.
I don't think Zerka has gone that far yet. More than likely, they have him locked away somewhere. That or he's gone into hiding and began the evacuation instead.
We can't rely on anybody but ourselves.
Someone will return shortly to escort you.
No, I didn't mean that...
That's all the information I have for you. Living quarters are being arranged for you and your companions as we speak. We'll keep you informed.
Damn it!
An odd thing for the Republic to do, no?
I don't know if I like this. Aren't the Republic supposed to be the good guys?
Be careful here, kid. Start poking your nose in a place it doesn't belong, and you might not like what you find.
Odd energy signatures. Have you ever checked those out?
There are also tales of strange ghosts and monsters haunting the ruins, whispering in the ears of all who would listen and driving them mad. This may be a very dangerous world indeed.
Wait. Korriban waste is strictly off limits to anyone but Sith, Zerka included. Now that was a battle that was completely unnecessary. Word around the cantina is the workforce stationed there at the time of the incident went completely crazy. They lost their minds, started attacking everyone in sight. I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Tangabun shan omnang, wanga kun biskin ba mularag. China pala mula, tongki ba non tontet.
Oh dear.
Verbal!
Master. Classification of this entity cannot be determined.
It's time to get out of this place and back to a world where things make sense.
At last, my search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the pleasure.
Achuta! Wangakun pistol piking kunyana.
Pathetic bounty hunter, I have studied at the foot of the Dark Lord himself. You are no match for me.
Inkin kunoba mulira chinkun. Tongait tun kunching. Ni boboji mata ni punaje.
Ready.
Dolpi kiknyunyan.
Your words mean nothing to me. Unless you wish to beg for your life. No. Then I shall try to make this both quick and painful.
Termination required. Marvelous elimination of the enemy master. I applaud you.
Chachiska don punta kasabubaka. Mucha hodonga ya fulki.
Sarah.
Chinapala mule, tonki ba non tontek.
Verbal, the entity you detected, are we close?
If the data gathered by my sensors is accurate, the precise location of this entity is within the vicinity of our present location.
Ni bajoni yo la wish.
T3, there's not much time. I ask you, did you find any trace of Revan? I don't believe that. I've lost friends before, and until I see them dead, I don't believe it. Whatever it was, I think he went off to find it, to fight it. He left a lot of people who cared about him behind, but I think he did it because he thought it was the right thing to do. Do what you can, T3. For what it's worth, I thank you.
What is this place?
Randi Chawa Tongbola Johnny Gu. Shichi.
Come in, over. Damn it.
Feedback indicates that this interference has been caused by an electrical disturbance that originates from an unknown entity within the Korriban Waste.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Ni bajoni yo lak wish. Dopayuma pasen lapti non goto.
My sensors indicate that the entity I detected is within this structure.
I have a bad feeling about this. Verbal, I need you to stay behind. I want some insurance in case things don't go our way.
Master, don't be irrational. If I stay here, then I cannot acquire the data I need to perform an analysis of the entity.
Fine. Let me put it to you this way. Whoever or whatever is in this structure, they will probably want to harm you, to damage your superior workmanship. So by choosing to enter the structure, you are technically choosing also to harm yourself. Wouldn't that be against your programming?
Master, your logic is correct. It would be against my programming. I will stay here then, and await further instruction.
And don't talk to any strangers while I'm gone, regardless of how many upgrades they offer you. Though don't worry, we'll be back for you. So stay here, shut up, and hang tight.
T3, I'm leaving this message inside you because more of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something.
It is a technique he learned fighting the Mandalorians that allowed him to convert the last of the Jedi who fought beside him, and to murder those who had not. And he fears it is still out there. He lives still. This I know. If he will not return, then I shall find him and discover why. I cannot remain here not knowing.
If something happens, T3, then I need you to return to the Republic and find me. I thank you.
Let's go.
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries.
Is Revan your master now? She is no Jedi. She walked Revan's path, but she was not strong enough.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
Revan's influence has grown amongst the youngest of the Order. He speaks to their passions, not their sense. It is good you recognize this. It means you will understand why you must leave us.
How very noble of you.
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out. Know that there is no turning back from this judgment.
It is as I feared, and I fear that we have played into the hands of the enemy. And you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it.
So be it.
It's done.
Much defiance in that one.
We should not have let her depart. She will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with her, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you.
We must let her go there. That is our only chance to know what has happened, and what the future holds.
But the future is a shifting thing, and he cuts like a blade through it. I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code. and lead all who listen to the dark side.
There's still the matter of Dantooine, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
It was always intended for the Jedi to retreat to Telos should Dantooine be attacked, taking all their lore with them. We could not allow the tragedy at Ossus to happen again.
Perhaps in many years, we will call him before us and explain what happened to him, and how he may be healed.
He fell to the dark side once. He will do so again. He will train her, and she will be flawed. It is the truth, and it is done.
And that is the future we must accept.
Korriban's a rock. Mind the Sith.
Makes you wonder sometimes if the Republic even exists at all out here. So, Jolie, you decided to leave your little hermitage in the forest and come help us stop the Sith. I guess you realized this was worth coming out of retirement for, huh?
So it's true, yes. I fought plenty of Sith. That was during the time of Exar Kun. Oh, 40 years ago now. Has it been that long?
Sorry, can't be much help with that.
Exar was a Jedi who was corrupted by ghosts of the old Sith, or so they say. He attempted to conquer the Republic and create a new golden age of the Sith. That is not a pleasant time to remember. After Exar Kun fell to the dark side, he attempted to recruit other Jedi to his cause.
I'm worried about what might happen to you. You have a lot of courage, and the fact that you've remained strong is amazing. But there's even greater danger ahead.
I've often held the opinion that history has one basic flaw. It is seldom heeded. A Sith believes he commands the Force, but it is the dark side who commands him. And I'm not even talking about how some of us fall to the dark side. No, that's plenty indication of our fallibility, but it's something else entirely.
Mercs like this haven't a lick of conscience. They'll betray you in a heartbeat.
I guess you aren't as stupid as you sometimes act. No doubt you've been on the receiving end of Jedi justice at least once, eh? The fact that Exar Kun was defeated didn't mean the Sith would never return, as they obviously have now. What surprised us, what took us completely unprepared, was how utterly successful he was. Many Jedi joined him and became Sith themselves. Why they did, I will never truly know, but they did. Battle broke out throughout the Order, pupil against master. We fought ourselves. Oh, sure, occasionally the light side comes close to vanquishing the dark, but the dark always returns. Eventually it'll come around again, but I'd rather not wait that long. So we do what we have to do, and we try to stop the Sith.
I guess I have no other choice. You mean, besides a chance to get off this planet before the Sith find you?
No, of course not. The Sith have come and gone for ages. They were not called the Sith many thousands of years ago, perhaps. But the dark side was always present, without a doubt. So much for the sanctity of life.
Did they really get away with it, though? Revan was betrayed by Malak, and Malak hasn't won. In the end, the dark side won't help him.
A rogue, am I? You speak as if there must be something wrong with me. Like not being part of the Order makes me a criminal. But the Order itself, the Jedi Council and so forth, no. I'm not part of that, and haven't been for a long time. And good riddance, I say.
Well then, I'm glad. Let's face the future together, then.
Yeah, they say he's paying double wages for mercenaries right now.
This planet is dangerous with all those Sith wandering around.
It smells like death here. Not good, honest battlefield death, but a musty, wasting death.
Hey, keep your lectures. The Sith pay well, and they pay up front. That's all I care about.
Gandorus, I haven't seen you since the Republic broke our ranks at the Battle of Malachor.
Ergeron!
When the Republic defeated our fleets, I learned a valuable lesson. It's far better to be a freelance mercenary in a war than to be a soldier for the losing side.
Don't stare. It's bad enough he's here in the bar. I don't want him coming over or anything. Sorry, but I'm not looking for a contract right now. I'm waiting for that guy from the Republic to come by. You can conduct business at our office if you wish.
Rundi Hadonga Kuhungabi. Wana Kunbes.
Objection. This unit is not for sale, meatbag.
Kontichani. Mucha Hadonga Yafulki.
No. You are not a droid, however, and therefore your skills are limited by the physical capabilities of your meatbag extremities, or some such.
They're the law here. I'm here only to protect Zerka's interests. Now check out that Mandalorian over there. I hear he's just looking for work, but look how much firepower he's carrying. I bet he could wipe out a whole platoon of soldiers before they even knew what hit them.
But
a droid like that doesn't come cheap.
Exclamation. Oh, upgrades will be fine.
Oh, entertainment can be found at the local cantina, provided by Zerka, of course.
Good luck. You're going to need it.
Seems like they don't care who they kill, and they don't even need a reason. I need work, but if I have any choice, I'll sign on with the Republic. And there's all those rumors of mutilations and torture on helpless prisoners. If even half the stories I've heard are true. I wonder.
That would have been most fun.
I never used to believe those rumors. Until I saw this guy. From what I hear, his kind can hold a grudge.
This guy isn't telling us something. He might even be lying. I don't trust him. Mandalorian mercs like me are in high demand.
Commentary. I am so disappointed in you right now. No, don't look at me.
Mandalorians are not cowards. We're just practical. The sooner we get off this rock, the better.
Kava! Yun patisa! Chiwa aita kang ki jiyokaku! Kinba nikcha lora kun. Uba baska dwana chichopa muska kakincha nawabagaon.
Achuta, wanga kun pistol piking kunyana, tong patogas magtelia.
Chachiska, topa na otavokasa, kinba nikcha lora kun.
Rundi hadonga kuhungabi, kuya mi juz kachita, naipatoga ya fulki kukula jiti.
Chopa chawa wisyun kun. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Chuba chi chopa kun wata. Kingba no kun nik dorcha. Patisa, patisa! Nikava mubaka! Chiwa aita kang ki jiyokaku! Ichuta! Da hupa botenya go jiji piti! Just grunky to patsnemo. Chino molirani bubo to kingba no kun netsag. Con mulis limo poi wanga kun liskin. Kimba no kun nik dorcha. Tumirana no frata donko sercha doman toma.
Chachiska don punta casa bubaka.
Pichage borang turang. Nada chawa yishun kun. No ba mulira tilai kunka. Uba baska dwana chichopa muska. Ichuta.
Tonga bugsham uninong.
Kakincha nawabakaon. Kinba nikcha lora kun. Tung abashun ni chunchi. Tangik wama jikona. Pichage borang turang. Nada chawa yishun kun. No ba mulira tilai kunka. Chubachi jopa kun wata. Kinba no kun nik dorcha.
Mucha shagpangpa. Yinkin kun no ba mulri rachikun.
Kava! Ichuta! Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. No ba mulira tilai kunka.
Chibedwana ni bobo. Tonk nabung shanun yang. Tonk patogas magtelia.
Pichage borang turang. Nada chawa yishun kun. No ba mulira tilai kunka. Kinba nikcha lora kun. Da hupa botenya go jiji piti. Just grunky to patsnemo. Chino molirani bubo tonking ba no kun netsag. Chachiska. Topa na otavokasa. Tumirana no frata donko sercha doman toma. Uba baska dwana chichopa muska. Kinba nikcha lora kun.
Tonghai tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Mungka kun biskan.
Hucho apenki. Chiska nichu. Tumirana no frata donko sercha doman toma. Chopa chawa wisyun kun. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Kimba no konik docha.
Banauto. Mucha shakpangpa. Yinkin kun no ba mulri rachikun.
Yun patisa. Chiwa aita kang kijiyo kaku.
Wonga kun pistol piking kunyana. Tong patogas magdelia.
I have been such a fool. I swore to protect you, and here you were the enemy all this time.
Please. He'll have me flayed alive. I surrender.
You can't hide here forever.
What? But I trusted you. How can you stand there and...
Threats? You can't bully me, though I shouldn't be surprised now that I know who you really are.
I'm sorry, but I can't take that chance.
But you can figure it out on your own, can't you?
There's no one for me to turn to on this wretched planet. I don't trust any of them. Believe me, I'm more scared of him than I am of you.
I want to believe you. I can put aside my misgivings for now. We can talk later, you and I. Bastila.
Yes, I did end that quite abruptly, didn't I? Perhaps a master could have addressed my questions with the proper wisdom, but I never should have brought it up here.
I see. This is a little much for me to wrap my mind around.
I am needed here, just as you are.
What do you mean?
T3. Return to the Republic. Karth, we need to resolve this.
It doesn't matter. I just need credits.
Quiet already.
But you may as well have just killed me.
Keep it up, and I'll gag you. Are you forgetting where we are? Now be quiet.
She's obviously desperate.
I'll say.
Karth, enough. It may not seem like such a great thing to you, but you are making a difference. Thank you for helping this woman. It's a small mercy, Karth. Do you have a name?
Oh, thank you. I'm Major Herka. I don't have anywhere else to turn.
You took an incredible risk. You know that, right?
Yes.
Getting paid to murder others is hardly justifiable.
Well, it's my experience that the targets of these bounties are usually criminals themselves. So don't get all in a twist over it.
That is murder, and this young person is not even a Sith.
Well, you should know better than anyone what some people will do for power, Bastila.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Well, just that the dark side is quite tempting. Or so you always say.
And you would propose what? Letting a murderer free on the chance it will help the Republic?
If need be. We're talking about Sith, remember? I don't approve of what he did any more than you.
But you're willing to overlook it.
The Republic's principles aren't worth a hill of beans if it falls, Bastila. I'll do whatever I can to save it.
I guess I don't have much choice in the matter.
Don't be a fool. You're not getting off this world without help.
And go where?
Maybe by passage to Coruscant? I don't know.
Well, it's not a bad plan.
I hope it will be enough. Goodbye.
Don't worry about me. I'm a soldier.
Mission. Come now. We have to get going.
Yeah? It shouldn't be a problem now.
Glad to see we're still the good guys here. Sometimes I think we forget that. I will still help you if I can, but I guess you're on your own.
Thank you.
I guess we can get out of here now.
Chinga pala multonki. Mana tota.
And so at last, you have come.
His progress has been remarkable. Such command of the Force. Shortly, he will surpass even your most powerful student.
Save one. Revan knew.
And that is what I sought to understand. How one could turn away from such power and still live.
Enough of this.
It is because you had no choice.
An amazing display. But does he need to drain the force from every assassin he trains with? Get me a few more assassins.
Watawama muliri kin kun chopeshwa no bamule raji.
They say fate often works in mysterious ways. I survived Terrace because I was meant to survive, because it was intended that I wake amongst the rubble born anew, a changed man.
Tin umpag do punta krita. Ak ti kondo ona chaba chisa wanki. Ti toki grantu kon chichan kun green kanchan tu pro.
If my actions served to condemn me as a murderer, then so be it. It was necessary. I once told someone that choice cannot exist without consequence. You have risked much to come here, my former pupil. You have traversed the Korriban wastes, and you have discovered this ancient temple. This Temple of Shadow.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokarpata.
There was once power here. Ancient and timeless, it was born from the betrayals of old. That power was contained within an artifact. An artifact which was stolen from its resting place, yet the power contained within survived and was scattered. This place, it is more than a mere temple. It harbors a fulcrum point for the power, a point in which its scattered remnants can be concentrated and then fused together. You were always strong in both body and spirit. It is why I chose you as my Padawan learner. Even in the moment I first met you, I could recognize the potential soaring within what was then merely a child. A child I then chose to rescue from what would have been a fleeting life of insignificance on the streets of Sleehaven. It was in your potential to become my protege, to become the greatest of Jedi. Yet you became what stands before me, a shell.
Better than a crazed Jedi. Better than a murdering Jedi. Sarah.
The Arcanian, what worth do you find in him? I merely see a man, ruled by passion, yet afraid to embrace it.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokarpata.
I could no longer risk his interference, so for now I have removed him. He was an unexpected, unpredictable factor in our reunion. Do not act surprised. I know that Tilana's death made you question a great many things surrounding your role in the Mandalorian Wars. And I hold these answers. You know this. It is why you have come here.
Kinpa mulera dwana, don kinpa no kudnok nek. Kavanumpa kumpialia monokata, ranga kun bis king no moruat, kakin chana guana pokon.
If only you knew what I now know, would you so willingly have accepted those consequences? What if I told you that through force bonding, an individual can inspire a mindless devotion within the mind of another? And what if I told you that all of this can be achieved passively, without the subject even realizing they are being manipulated? Some of the Jedi needed to be significantly manipulated, whilst others needed just a gentle push. And always behind those manipulations was Revan.
Tangabun shan omnang. Wanga kun bis kim ba mulara choni yun tun gigi either dwana.
Yes, you were the first and arguably the greatest of Revan's manipulations. Over the course of the Mandalorian Wars, the force bond Revan created between you allowed him to determine the lengths in which this form of bonding could be used as a tool of manipulation. And ultimately, it was this bond that transformed you from what was once my Padawan into a being so fanatically obsessed with adhering to Revan's will that everything else, even your very identity, was seen as insignificant and thus subconsciously discarded.
Shuni yun ni gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana.
Yes, and it was that manipulation which, during the finality of the Mandalorian Wars, pushed you over the edge and past the point of no return. It did not matter to Revan. The art of manipulation had already been mastered over the course of the Mandalorian Wars. Make no mistake, whilst it is Revan who is to blame for transforming you through manipulation, there were points during the Mandalorian Wars where, had you wanted, you could have resisted, you could have denied Revan's will. Yet, you didn't. You went on. And after choosing to pass the point of no return, the bond between you became so strong that everything but servitude became completely insignificant to you. Revan used what had been learned from your manipulation to help shape what became the Sith Empire. You are as guilty as Revan. During the Mandalorian Wars, you were a beast fueled by bloodlust who thirsted for war. Matilda, it is the name I gave you that would always serve to remind you of what you once were and what you have since become. Yet now you are before me. I see that what was once the child on Sliheron is now gone, and instead is a creature that was spawned from the tragedy of the Mandalorian Wars. This identity, it had a name, didn't it? Can you remember? Do you even know?
Chinga palamultonki.
Yes, Shana May. It is the name of the one I found on Sliheron. It is the name of the one I raised, the name of the one I trained. It is the name of the one who betrayed me, who was corrupted and then sacrificed to become a tool of war.
Shuni yun ni gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana.
Shana May, the one who I created, the one who you destroyed. You are wrong. Shana May was my pupil, not the shell I see before me. I act to deliver a rightful vengeance to who she once was, not what she has since become. And she has proved a useful tool to lure you here. The remnants of our bond allowed her to determine a great many things, including my presence on Korriban and the movements I've made across it.
Chika ton mulaka watayumaka wamahona nek. Ashantik ton unumini patoka wanakuna best chinga palamultonki.
But before we settle our score, I sense you lack fulfillment. I wish only to fight you when you are at your best, Revan.
Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawama nibo Lora Waisha waga shichi.
Come with me, for only together can we reclaim the identity that was sacrificed. I can give you back your purpose, your life.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokaipata.
Unfortunate, yet it is the response I expected. I hold the answers to your questions, yet as before you react with aggression. This matters not. I am more than willing to cleanse your mind of this and all other weakness through the fires of combat. Since my death at Terrace, all of what was important to me has been rendered meaningless. No longer do I care for the fates of the Jedi, the Republic, or the galaxy. I only care to pursue the single undeniable calling that fate has thrust towards me.
Kakin Chana Guana Pakon.
The end? This is merely the beginning. The beginning of my revenge! Like you, I too am guilty of sacrifice. I am no longer the Jedi Master I once was. I will be born anew as a greater being, a being of power. The process of reunification is complicated and time-consuming. But now, thanks to you and your master, both will be reborn.
My lightsaber was misplaced. I looked everywhere. It must have fallen from my belt.
Loka kamaran endosoran we no chabi. You groren man mapusit no lara. Para makangwana kojukitsa. Duran tamana sobu.
Wow, what do we have here? I didn't believe it when Lino reported the Ebon Hawk at dock, but I guess it really has. Maybe that's for the best. It was the decision of Republic authorities that your testimony would no longer be necessary, and thus you'd be allowed to go. A few weeks ago, he suddenly disappeared and hasn't been heard from since. If the Council had kept us out of this business with Zerk in the first place, there wouldn't be any problems. But the TSF thanks you for your cooperation. Good luck.
Thank you. That leaves a hurt inside you just can't imagine.
Yes, I know.
I might need your help to the Ebon Hawk.
Greetings. You surprised me. I am so terribly sorry. I am afraid I cannot accompany you. I could not abandon my companion here. I'm afraid that he might resist. I would not upset him. Someone has installed an array of illegal and highly lethal weapon components into his small frame. What? You are small. All utility droids are small. This short man's complex of yours makes no sense. Oh dear, you have angered him. My companion and I are awaiting a ship. Nar Shaddaa, I believe. It was the easiest destination for us to book passage to.
By sneaking on undetected.
Yes, if you insist on putting it that way. I would prefer to leave Citadel legally, though that option is currently unavailable to me. Yes, I know.
T3. Let's just remember where this is.
Who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
Threat. Now step away from the control room. That's a good droid. A T3 utility droid would be a common sight in this facility. The target has evaded us. That is why the arrival of this Ebon Hawk robbed me of my bounty. That would explain why such a T3 unit isn't here.
I cannot render resistance. Move along.
This was not anticipated. Jedi are worth much more in certain exclusive markets across the galaxy. Now that we have found you, we hope that we can facilitate communication and put an end to hostilities.
Let's make this quick.
Targets acquired.
The Force fights with me!
We've been expecting you. Admiral Onasi wanted to speak with you, ma'am. As I understand it, there was something private he wished to ask you.
I must know something first.
We did our best. We chose to retreat and began the evacuation instead. Very well, I'll tell him then. Safe journeys, ma'am.
It's a little beat up, but it's still home. I wasn't able to be here to protect it when the Sith attacked the first time.
There are times I fear we shall never know where he left Karth, and I cannot live not knowing the answer. Why he sought to protect us.
I don't know, but it was important to him. He said that there were places where he had to walk where I could not go, places where having allies, or anyone he cared about, would only place them in danger. And we had to part, like you did, without him. It was the hardest request I ever had to follow. And I think he finally remembered something terrible that he'd done during the Mandalorian Wars, and he went to put an end to it. I've read your records, how the Jedi sentenced you. I ask you, if you return to that place with his ship, if you find some trace of Revan...
I can try.
Very well. I've taken enough of your time then. For what it's worth, I thank you.
Admiral Onasi. We are going there now to aid them.
And adopt a wait-and-see approach. Like I said, we'll talk more when I arrive.
Mikal out.
He has come. Curious. Why were you spared? You know much of battle, enough to know that this is a battle you cannot win. I realize that you have traveled alone ever since the Mandalorian Wars, but that time of self-reflection is over, and it will be needed in the times ahead. Your feelings for her are your weakness. You could have been so much more.
Be still a moment and let me help.
You know what the choice is, but first, I must prepare you for what is to come.